Wrong ones part ways, right ones find their way. Title of the article shared with you today is Daughter, Please Don't Marry That Poor Boy, a letter from parents. It has moved countless people to tears. Now, let's listen together. Dear daughter, seeing the words is like seeing you in person. I've always encouraged you to pursue what you want, to give you freedom and teach you self-love. But last week, after meeting the boy you like, there are some things I must tell you, even if they may hurt your heart. He indeed has a handsome appearance, and his education matches yours. He appears polite and gentle. You brought him to me and your father, but at this moment I can't bear it. I'm worried because he is too poor in spirit. Your father asked me to convey this to you, daughter. Don't believe in that toxic saying that men always have a child's heart. Remember what your father said. If a man truly wants to take care of a family, he must restrain his childishness because he bears responsibilities. He can't be the type to play games all day, slack off at work, and give up when things get tough. He is too childish, too willful. We talked about his job, and he expressed a lot of dissatisfaction. From the pressure from his superiors, the idle gossip of colleagues, his complaints were endless. When I asked what he would do if he decided to change jobs, he said he hadn't considered it and might just take a 2-month break for travel. His plans and reflections lack maturity, and he doesn't consider you in them. Daughter, Dad and I are not rejecting him because he's young and inexperienced, but because a good marriage requires alignment of values, not just sweet words and gestures. After all, it's your lifelong affair. From our conversation, we concluded a few things about him. First, his parents favor boys over girls and hope you'll give birth to a son after marriage. Second, neither he nor his parents like you wearing makeup, considering it a waste of money. Third, they believe it's a woman's duty to take care of the family. If you're too busy, he'll help with some chores. Marriage isn't just about marrying a man, but also marrying into a family. Having children isn't just about continuing the family line, but also the crystallization of love between husband and wife, the continuation of life. Wearing makeup is to please yourself and others. It's your own earnings and within your consumption capacity. Mom doesn't think you're wrong. Lastly, taking care of the family is the obligation and responsibility of both parties. Whoever has time should do it. She's worried about you being exhausted from childbirth and will actively help you do more, not just waiting until you're overwhelmed to lend a hand. He's his parents' precious son, and you're our precious daughter. Do you agree, my girl? Do you remember when you were young? At that time, your father was very poor. We couldn't afford watermelons in the summer or heavy coats in winter. But he worked hard, learned from his mentors, actively participated in factory activities, and used his entire salary to make our lives comfortable, not thinking of himself but wanting us, mother and daughter, to be comfortable. It was a hard time but warm because I felt hopeful and had something to look forward to. I knew he was trying, so I worked even harder. During my time at the textile factory, I was always awarded as an excellent employee. We encouraged and supported each other. I cooked at home, and he always insisted on doing the dishes and household chores, wanting me to accompany you to play. A man can be poor when he's young, but he must have potential and give his family hope. When you're together, Dad and I aren't worried that you'll endure temporary hardships, but that you'll suffer a lifetime of hardships with him. Poverty of the heart is the worst. I've said a lot from the bottom of my heart, much of it based on what you've shared with me before. Dad and I don't forbid you from being with him, but he must change. As experienced people, we know he must meet these 4 criteria to take you away from us. First, he can't be lazy. He must work hard, not look for shortcuts. He can complain but must learn to reconcile. He can play, but he can't neglect work. Second, he must have plans for the future. Lack of foresight leads to immediate worries. He's chauvinistic but lacks the responsibility of a man. Third, he must change his views on childbirth and wives. It doesn't matter whose surname the child takes. The main thing is that your family is harmonious and loving. He doesn't help with household chores for you, but for the family. Fourth, let him mature a bit more and save some money. Dad and I have saved all our money for you, but I hope it's icing on the cake, not a last-minute rescue, because if he's spiritually poor, our little money won't save him. Dad and Mom's demands are really not high. Should you calm down and think about it? Mom has lived for more than half a century, and we understand love and marriage very well. We've experienced it ourselves and seen others' ups and downs. Your father and I are different from other parents. We're not in a rush to marry you off, nor do we want anything from the boy. We only want your happiness, joy, health, and safety. With all our love, Dad and Mom. That's all for today's article. Please share the video with your friends. I hope you have new insights every day. You'll never be alone here.